Hey my beautiful Sagittarian peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Ant from CancerMoonsTarot and welcome into your week here of the 25th through the 1st of October. How are you? Hope you guys are doing well. Do want to mention before we start, if you're interested in a personal reading, you can check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com. It's going to be the first link in the description below. Without a further ado though, here, Team Sagittarius, let's see what's going on with you guys regarding your week ahead. We did have a star card pop on out for you guys. The star is Aquarius energy, so you could be dealing with an aqua potentially. I'm hearing like things are going according to plan. Star card is definitely about alignment. So if you've been like holding out on something or working towards a path, wishing upon a star, like please let this work. I do feel like there is definitely alignment showing up for you. So I think you're on the right path, even if it doesn't seem so clear or seem that way so far. So I feel like for many of you, just a quick message, trust the process, trust in the universe, and know that you're going in the right direction here. Okay. All right, though, let's get one more shuffle for Sag. And then we'll go ahead and begin your read for your week ahead. Let's see what's going on with you beautiful peeps. What do we got showing up here for Sag throughout the week of the 25th through the 1st? Overall energy, 3 of Swords coming out here for you. Definitely a bit of a deep feeling for sure. 3 of Swords can typically resonate towards heartbreak. It can resonate towards going through a difficult separation of some sort. Can be pain in general. But we'll take a look though, okay? Having a look at the current energy, the 2 of Pence, what you're dealing with at this time, the Knight of Pentacles, and looking at the current outcome, we have here the Page of Swords. So that star card kind of makes a little bit more sense now, right? Trust the process, trust that everything is working out for you, especially when we're in times where we can be going through a period of suffering, going through a period of roughness. That is always a sign that something bigger and better is coming. You know, I don't think me personally in my life, I don't think I've ever had a glow up or a transformation without having the struggle in the beginning, right? I think that at every time I've struggled, that was always when something bigger and better was coming in. So I feel that energy very specific for you here, right? We got here the 3 of Swords, we have here the 2 of Pentacles. I think that as of late, overall energy to the current for the week, you are kind of feeling feelings coming in waves. Sometimes you're okay here with the 2 of Pentacles, but then other times it could be very, very hard to feel very happy and very positive. You know, it's not going to be a very easy energy to tap out of the 3 of Swords and instantly tap into happy-go-lucky kind of vibes. So your feelings are a little bit all over the place this week, but that's to be expected for anybody who's going through a hard or difficult time. Having a look at what you're dealing with here, Knight of Pence coming out here for you. You're taking things very slow and steady is what I feel for you. So despite the fact that you could be going through something difficult, slow and steady wins the race. Little by little, I'm going to focus on what improvements I can bring to the table in my life. Little by little, I'm going to do what I can to improve my feelings, improve my energy. And looking at the outcome here for you, Page of Swords is very interesting to me because the Page of Swords can represent the energy of communication. It could represent the energy of stalking, but it also, in my personal book, can represent the energy of being hesitant. So it almost kind of feels to me that you're in a place where you have pain, you want to move on, you're doing what you can to improve, but it almost feels like there's a little bit of hesitancy to let go and to detach. And what I feel about this intuitively could be that if I do let go of something, right? And if I do start the process of healing, that means that I'm fully letting go and saying goodbye to a chapter in my life. And maybe a part of you is hesitant because you don't want to say goodbye to that specific chapter. Now, I've been in that energy many times in my life. It is very hard, right? Because we don't want to feel the pain. We want to heal and move forward, but we also don't want to let go of what we have lost. And it's kind of hard to come into the energy of acceptance of that specific loss. And this could be about the loss of a romantic relationship, the loss of a friendship, the loss here of career. It could be anything. It could be a separation right now between you and somebody you care about. It could be that there's a lot maybe not going the way you want it to, and it disappoints you and really upsets you, and that you don't want to hold on to the idea of things being a certain way when they're turning out to be something completely different. So there's a vast majority of different ways we can read this energy, but I think that one of the main points to bring up here is that while you want to heal, it's also like, I just don't want to let go, right? So it's a little bit of a tough spot to be in. Let's have a look here and see what's showing up in your challenge. For the challenge, Sagittarius, we have here the King of Swords. Being able to be disciplined enough here to say, I need to put myself first. I need to think head over heart and make that head over heart decision and recognize that healing is the way to go right now. Holding on is not going to do anything good for me. It's only going to keep me stuck. It's going to keep me unhappy. And even though it's hard to accept what's happened, accepting what's happened is going to be the best thing for me. So I feel like like the challenge here is to kind of allow yourself to have a head over heart decision here to move on. I think that the heart's like, Sagittarius, hold on. There's tons of feelings everywhere. Don't let go. You wanted this to work out. You wanted this to happen. But logistically, your logic is saying here, it is time for you to move forward, because holding on to this is not going to serve you, but instead it's only going to make matters worse. And I would agree with that to a certain degree, because when we're in a space, we should always focus on healing. But when we're not accepting something that had happened, what's going to happen is we're going to stay stuck. And the longer we stay stuck, the longer those feelings we have are going to be there. And it's not going to be a very fun experience. You know, I've gone through places in my life where I didn't want to let go because I knew that letting go meant saying goodbye to a person in my life. And even though it meant saying goodbye to the pain, letting go of them, just the sheer energy of having to let go of them was so painful for me that I felt like I couldn't overcome it. But once I recognized that letting go of that person was the best choice I could have ever made in reference to being able to heal and being able to connect with who came next in my path and being able to become happy again after experiencing something so intense, once I started recognizing that, I said, okay, you know what? Rejection's God's protection. Whoever is meant to be with me will be with me. Who isn't, isn't. And I need to be willing here to accept situations for what they are at all times, be completely present to my current circumstances, and allow myself to let go and heal when situations like the Three of Swords here in my life arise. So I think that that is your best bet. But of course, guys, always what you feel is right. You guys decide. I'm not here to tell you what to do, right? That's definitely one point I want to make. Moving forward, though. All right, let's see what other information we have here regarding on what Sag can expect here throughout their week. First card is going to be the Queen of Cups. The following card is going to be the Four of Cups. We also have here the Chariot, and we have here the Seven of Pentacles. So I think that you're trying this week to kind of avoid feelings a little bit. I think that it's been a pretty hectic and intense time here, so it's kind of like I just want to disconnect right now from what's going on, what's happening. With the Chariot card, it's like I want to move forward. I want to put my investment in other things. So I do think that to a certain degree here this week, you could be focusing on other stuff rather than what's going on emotionally. I think that you need a little bit of a break from it here. It's probably been very overwhelming for you. So I do understand needing that break. Yeah, Queen of Wands, kind of doing more fun activities and being around people that are more fun, people that kind of temporarily take your mind off of your current situation and circumstance. I do feel like this week you probably will be a lot more social, hanging out with friends, just so you can feel like a little bit of a distraction right now from this Three of Swords like moment that's occurring in your life. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, guys. You know, a lot of people would say, hey, don't distract yourself. Hey, don't take a break. Hey, you need to heal, heal, heal. And while I'm here to tell you that healing is definitely going to benefit you, sometimes we all need to disconnect from our reality, no matter what it is. And we got to remember that it's a temporary thing, right? I don't think we should permanently disconnect from our reality or have any sort of longevity in disconnection, but it's important sometimes to just take a break from the life we're living and the things we got going on and just enjoy ourselves, especially if it's intense. So long as we return and we do the healing work we have to do, it's okay to take a temporary break, okay? Moving on forward though, yeah, I feel like you're going to be super social here this week. We have here the Three of Pentacles, we have the Moon. Yeah, you could be focusing on just putting your emotions to the side and focusing more on work this week as well. So when it does come to career, maybe you have your own business, or maybe you have some sort of work you can be doing, like physical work around the house. Maybe you're focusing more on projects right now. I hear you're keeping yourself busy, right? So this is a week where it's like, energies have been intense as fuck. I just want to keep myself as busy as possible. We have here a High Priestess, and we also have here a Knight of Swords. I do think, though, that you're recognizing I can't be in this distracting energy forever. I do have to take action. So, you know, intuitively you acknowledge, inevitably I got to face what's going on here with the Three of Swords. So even if I take a temporary break here this week, I'm going to have to face what's happening here. So you will be getting to that point here. And I probably feel like closer to the end of the week is when you're going to start tapping back into confrontation with what's going on with your situation, what happened, how you're feeling, and what the next best approach is going to be. So yeah, a temporary break's okay. I wouldn't worry about it, guys. I see you guys getting reconnected to what's going on in a few days. I think that at some point more close to the end of the week is where you'll tap back in and say, okay, it's time to get serious. It's time to make a head over heart decision. Right now, it's time to come into acceptance for what had happened, whether it be a breakup or anything of that nature. And it's time to start doing the healing work, no matter how tough it may be right now. Later on, I'm going to thank myself for it, right? So you're going to get back into that healing work here later on this week, okay? All right, guys, moving along here forward, I'm going to tap into your career, your love life, and your personal life here for the week ahead. So let's go ahead and have a look. What do we got going on here career-wise for the zodiac signs of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the week here of the 25th through the 1st. What do we got showing up here in your career? First card out is going to be the Devil. Following card is going to be the Ace of Swords. And lastly, we have here the Ace of Cups. Ooh, this actually looks like an improvement for many of you. I do think that if you've been getting frustrated in your career, the frustration is about to be over. You're about to tap into more harmonious energies here with the Ace of Cups. The Devil here could represent that maybe you've been getting frustrated with a specific person. I do kind of feel and hear projection. Maybe you've had a manager or a boss who's been pretty much just projecting their negativity onto you and your fellow coworkers. If that's the case here this week, I think that they're finally recognizing that they need to keep their bullshit at home and be professional in the workplace. So you may notice a change in somebody's attitude. If they've been a devil, they're now like an angel again. And it's like, whew, it feels so much better not having to deal with somebody else's projections. So you could be seeing change like that happening in the workplace for sure. But also the Devil card here could just represent that maybe you've been irritated at work. There could have been a certain type of thing going on maybe last week that wasn't necessarily happy or making you happy and fulfilled. But this week that could all be getting blown over and cut out here. So that's wonderful as well. So I'm seeing a better vibe showing up in the workplace. Ace of Cups showing up here for you represents fulfillment. So you seem pretty happy with work here this week. And with the Ace of Swords and the Devil, it's nice to see any sort of negative circumstances being removed. It seems like a really chill week here for many of you guys when it comes to career. So I wouldn't worry so much about it. Super chill week, super fulfilling. Definitely not much going on here, I think, that would set off any sort of irritation. So that's great news here to see. Now, hopping on into love here for you, Sag. Let's have a look here at the single Sagittarians first. What do we got here for single Saggies? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the week here of the 25th through the 1st of October. What's going on for the single Sagittarians? First card out is going to be the Queen of Pentacles. The following is the Ace of Pentacles. And lastly, we got a Seven of Cups here in the reverse. Now, naturally, I don't have reversals in the monthly readings. Really interesting that that came out in reverse, but you know what this is telling me? I think many of you here are recognizing right now being single, I'm looking at it more as an opportunity. I feel like if you're a single Sag, you're seeing it as an opportunity to work on yourself. Queen of Pentacles here represents being in an energy of self-care, putting your thoughts, your feelings, your desires, your needs first, and putting yourself first overall. So I think that you're pretty much kind of enjoying the single life. It feels good to put yourself first. You're looking at this as an opportunity rather than branching out like the Seven of Cups upright would be, where you're having multiple choices and options in love. It's kind of nice to just focus on self-love and focus on that one cup, aka that one cup is you. So I think for single Sagittarians, you're liking the single life. For sure. I do see here that you're looking at it more as an opportunity than anything, and you're taking advantage of it here when it comes towards fulfilling yourself and bringing in your own personal happiness. So single Saggies here are definitely living it up. Now, for the Sagittarians in coupled relationships and romantic relationships, let's see what's going on with you. What do we have here for the Sagittarian couples? Coming into the week here of the 25th through the 1st, we had here a King of Pentacles pop out for you. Taking a look here at the next card, the Five of Swords. We also have here the Death card. And lastly, we have here the Hangman showing up as well. Now, I did mention in the main situation for some of you that a breakup could have taken place. And for some Sagittarian couples, this can be representing a breakup this week, just due to the nature of the Five of Swords showing up here and the Death card showing up here. But I think probably for more of the Sagittarians that have been in a very stable relationship for a while with someone, this most likely doesn't represent a breakup, okay? King of Pentacles here represents you and your person have a very strong connection. Both of you are very abundant with one another. Both of you are also, you know how to handle each other. You know how to react and respond to each other, right? You've been so used to each other for so long. You've known each other for so long. You know how one another works. And I think that if there has been any sort of Five of Swords-like moments, such as any sort of conflict between you and your partner, any sort of interesting conversations that occur, any sort of fighting, if any of that stuff occurs, I think this week it's definitely starting to filter out. So if you're a Sagittarius and you and your partner have been disagreeing often, you've been on edge often, maybe it's just been like nitpicky. I'm kind of feeling nitpicky vibes. Unfortunately, right? Mercury's direct now, but when Mercury's in retrograde, it can really put a bit of a strain on couples sometimes when it comes towards the nitpicking and random triggers coming up in their own individual personal lives. So I think that if that's kind of been the vibe for many of you, you're noticing that this week, wait, we're starting to remove that negative energy, right? We're starting to become more calm, more chill, more comfortable again with each other. And there's an epiphany here of like, what the heck were we fighting about anyways, you know? So I feel like for the single Sages, you end up, or sorry, for the coupled Sagittarians, you end up both coming to the conclusion of like, what the hell were we fighting about in the first place? Like, why were we arguing about this, you know? It feels like something silly, you know? Sometimes in relationships, we can nitpick or we can get really frustrated with small things. And it's not even those small things. Usually it's just underlying personal problems that turn into frustration and projection, right? So I think that you and your person here are going to get to that point where it's like, okay, we're having this epiphany. There really was nothing to argue about or to fight over. At the end of the day, let's go ahead and just drop this and move forward with much better vibes. So definitely an improvement here this week for the coupled Saggies. Now, coming on into your personal life, let's see what's going on over here. What do we got going on for Sagittarians personally? Coming into the week here of the 25th. First card coming out is going to be the Judgment card. The following is going to be the Justice card. And lastly, we have here the Five of Cups showing up as well. Yeah, I think this relays a lot here to the main situation I previously discussed. You know, I did mention to you that you felt like it was hard to let go, but logically you're going to do it anyways. No matter how difficult it is, Knight of Pentacles, you're taking everything one step and one day at a time. And you're saying to yourself, as hard as it's going to be to transform and to let go, to release, to heal, I'm going to do what I can here to make sure that I'm helping myself. And that's showing up here too in your personal energy. You have here the Judgment card, which represents taking a chance on yourself. You have the Justice card, which represents realigning and rebalancing yourself. And then you have the Five of Cups, which represents disappointment, unhappiness, dissatisfaction. So you're doing what you can here to reattune your energy, to heal, and to get back into a more balanced space here overall. You're making sure that you're taking care of yourself. And that's the most important part. So I definitely see here on a personal level that you're focusing up as much as you can to make sure that you are taking care of yourself to the best of your ability. Okay. All right, guys. And now for the official overall outcome for your for your week ahead. What do we got going on here for Sag? What's going to be the overall outcome of their week ahead? We have here a Seven of Swords to the Temperance. Literally, guys, I don't want to hurt myself here. Seven of Swords. I don't want to put myself in a negative position. So instead, what I'm going to be willing to do here is help myself with the Temperance. And what I love so much is the Temperance is actually the card that represents the zodiac of Sagittarius. So you're showing up here strong at the end of your reading here for the week. It's like, you know what? I can sit in the Seven of Swords energy and revel in my sadness and stay there as long as I need to. But I recognize here that it's not even about reveling in your sadness, by the way, because I tell people all the time, if you want to heal, you have to feel, right? So feeling your emotions is not a problem, and I want to make that abundantly clear. But it's when we ignore our feelings or pretend they don't exist or just permanently disconnect, right? That hurts us more than helps us. So I feel like for you, Sag, as much as there might be something within you that wants to turn this all off, I did mention to you guys temporarily, that's totally okay. If you need a few days this week to detach and to just have fun and ignore your current circumstances, that's okay, so long as you go back to what's happening in your current reality. But on the other hand, if you permanently just decide to disconnect and say, screw this situation, I don't want to ever think about it, I'm going to numb myself and blah, 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 that's not what's going to help you, right? So the Temperance here says, I'm not going to put myself in a bad position. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to regroup and get myself back together. And now the healing journey will begin. So I did mention to you anyways, moving closer towards the ending of the week is where I felt like you were going to reconnect with your current circumstances and focus here on your healing journey. And I definitely see that as a confirmation showing up here with the outcome as well. So you don't want to hurt yourself, but instead you want to help yourself, and you're going to make sure that you have the ability to do so, which is really fantastic. I love seeing that for you here, Sag, that you're willing to do what you can to make sure you move forward. And as always, there will be better days ahead here for you guys as well too. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, I love you guys dearly. I do hope that your reading here worked out. I do hope that it resonated. Thank you so much for those of you that are watching. Really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week ahead. Of course, if this resonates with you, do let me know down in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like and a comment below. And if you are new here, do consider subscribing. I'd be more than happy to invite you into the Soul family and connect with you guys on a daily basis. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you guys want to connect with me via personal readings, you can check out my website, first link in the description below. Be happy to meet you guys over there. But have a great rest of your week. Despite the heavy energies and the heavy circumstances, there are better days ahead here for you guys for sure. Just keep up that positive morale, okay? Love you, Sagittarius, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and have yourself a good one. Peace.